Hi, Zorp is an easy way to build native apps for your internal teams. Let's say you have a warehouse or a dark kitchen or a dark store and you want to do a regular audit of the inventory that is present over there. Let's try to build an app for the inventory using Zorp. So before that, let's have a look at how such an app would look like. In the app, the inventory person will click on New Inventory Audit, choose the type of the audit they want to perform, and start auditing the items. So add item 1, the quantity, take picture as a proof, add new, item 2, quantity, and again take pictures as a proof. So once I add a couple of them, then I can go back. My audit is actually complete. So once I've done my audit, I click complete to show all the items that I've audited before and click done. Very simple. So let's see how we can build such an inventory audit app in a matter of 5 minutes using Zorp. To start building the app, let's start with workflows. Workflows consists of a series of mobile app screens and the transition between them. So ours is a two-step process. One is the audit form and the second is the completed step. So in order to start designing the audit form, just click on the first screen. So we'll rename this into audit form. We can visually design this mobile app screen using the UI components that are available on the left. So let's start dragging and dropping and start configuring these components. So I can add certain instructions. Simple. Next, we need to collect an input on what type of audit is performed. So for this, we can use a radio component, a checkbox, or a dropdown. So in this case, we will use a dropdown component. Audit. Choose a data field. Now, any data that we collect in Zorp needs to be stored into a database so that can be used in the future. So Zorp workflows come with their own database. We can access it by clicking on the button here. So as you can see, there are some default fields that are available in the database, but we can also create custom fields according to our needs. So for this case, I'm going to create a new field called type of audit. All right. Now, whatever item the person chooses over here, it will get stored into type of audit. I'll also start adding different options. Now we'll add a list component to collect the list of items that are being audited. A list is a special type of UI component which can take multiple items of the same time. So in this case, we are going to show a list of items that are being audited. So first, let me choose a data field for the list. So we don't have one already, so let's create one. Call it item list, and this is of list type. So hit create. All right. Now I can configure how the list actually looks. So I'll call the name of the list as items audited. I'll provide some instructions. So we want the users to be able to add items to the list. So we'll enable add items, and we'll also enable add more button. So how can users add items to this particular list? There is a separate page called add list page. We'll configure that now. So here I'll provide some instruction. All right, now I can collect the name of the item. So for this, we're going to use a text input component. Again, I can choose the data field where the text input gets stored into, and this will get stored inside the list that we have created. So we'll call this item name. Similarly, we need to collect the item quantity. So for this, we can use a number input component. And we'll again create another data field to store this item quantity. And in the end, we'll also collect some images as proof of audit. this item images, and again I can use another data field called images, and I can only say that I'll accept gallery images and I minimum need one image to be collected. Alright, our form is done. So we go back, we can disable edit and disable delete, and finally we'll also show how configure how the UI actually looks like. So instead of heading, and say item, I'll probably call it name, and I might want to show the actual name of the item over there. So for this I can read from the database. So I click on this button, open my item list, and use the item name to be shown in the first row. Similarly, in the next row I can show the quantity. I can hide the rest of the fields because I don't need them. Alright, our first page is done. So let's move on to the second one. So this is the complete page where we can show an acknowledgement and details of the items that we have collected already. So I can call this audit complete. I can show type of audit, and I can also show the audit list. So again, I can configure how the name looks like. Can disable the subheading. We can disable add items, edit items, and delete items. And we can configure how the list looks like. Let's disable the rest of the fields. Alright, our entire app is ready now and we are good to go live. So all we have to do to go live is hit publish. So once we hit publish, the app immediately goes live and you can start executing this audit task from your phone. So let's create a simple sample task to test the application we have just created. To do that, just click on create task. Choose the workflow that we have created right now. Choose the team and choose the user within the team with whom we need to test it, and hit create. Now the task is created for the user and the user will get a notification. So we have the new task which is actually ready on the phone. So I click on new audit. I can choose the type of audit that is being performed. I can tap to add items. I can call this chair. Item quantity is 2. Take a picture and add another one. It's table. Item quantity is 5, and I can use the camera to take some images. Alright, so now both are saved. I have 2 items added and I'm done with my audit, and I hit complete. So once I hit complete, the data gets stored and my audit is fully completed. Now not only this, I have the ability to push the data that from my audit in real time to any external system. So that's to any other DB or Google spreadsheets or an ERP or a CRM or any other system. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for listening.